Hey guys, it's Austin back with another YouTube video. I know you guys have been waiting a long time, but the wait is finally over. It's now time to show you guys my 2025 Christmas inflatable display. Trust me, this year had a lot of twists and turns and different routes that I never thought that the preparation for this one would take, but I'm glad to finally have it all up and to finally have a definitive layout for it. Not to say that one big important design might not be making a return, but at this rate, I'm not really 100% sure of its status for the end of the display, but it might be waiting until the winter display. But anyways, let's get on with it because there's a lot to talk about, and let me tell you that to begin with.
How about a song to get you in the holiday spirit? Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
And I figured I would go over quite possibly what I consider my favorite scene in the yard. The Santa's toy sack area being highlighted by the BJ Santa's toy sack from last year in 2024. I gotta say, I was very fortunate to pick this one up last year at the end of the season on clearance because these things, whenever it went down to 75 off, they were gone in a heartbeat. But luckily, I was able to find one eBay reseller who had this for just at about, I think, 25% off retail, which I didn't care. I was definitely going to get this design because, like the Lux Santa sleigh down there next to my Grand Candy Cane Tunnel, that is my favorite BJ's design that I've ever had. And this one just speaks volumes for the lengths that BJ's is willing to go with trying to get a brand new design. And I swear, I just can't get over the detail with all the animation, the kaleidoscope, even the fact I added in an extra little snow globe on the end. There's so many good things to say about this thing, and it completely just puts the biggest presence in my yard that I've ever had of any single inflatable. I mean, I have a lot of inflatables that do that to a point, but I mean, this one's going to be a contender for one of my favorite Christmas inflatables of all time for years and years to come. I also ended up getting the little toy soldier dog last year at Big Lots on clearance as well before my local Big Lots shut down with the whole purge last year, which I thought when I saw this one, I was like, I knew I was going to get this one already, so I figured that it was going to work perfectly with the scene over here. And to top it all off, I also got the other little Big Lots wire mesh train, which I think also looks really cute with the area as well. At first, I was kind of wanting to do the train diagonal with the gift sack, but the more I thought about it, that would deflate onto it and it would kind of make it hard to do so. But I still think it works pretty good down here in front of it, especially because it gives you enough distance to see what's in front of the toy sack and just to get an emphasis on size and scale of how big the inflatables themselves are compared to the toy train. But I just gotta say, this area right here, including this continuation over here, is my favorite scene in my yard this year. So just cannot get over how many good things I want to say about this area and how it turned out. which brings me to my newest inflatable that's in the display right now. And this one has a pretty lengthy story to it, so allow me to explain. As you all know, last year I originally got the 20.5-foot Snowman family from Cody Collins, and don't worry, I still have it, but unfortunately 2 weeks into the display setup we had a very bad freezing rain, and unfortunately it got a pretty decent tear down between the mama and the father Snowman's air pockets, so I still got to do some sewing work on that design. But to make it up to myself and to also extend this incredible scene over here, I decided to go with the brand new for 2025 AtHome colossal Christmas tree archway, which for myself has been a design alongside the other two that I got last year. Has been one that I've been wanting to get for a very long time, not just because I'm a huge AtHome fanatic, and at this point I kind of joked on my Snapchat story and said they may as well just call my home the AtHome mansion with as many of the colossal designs as I got from them. But I cannot be more happy to own this inflatable finally, and I've got to give some credit to B&R Holiday Home. I was able to buy one of theirs off Mercari, and there are a few of these still left on their Mercari page, so I can confirm that listing is legit. Sometimes you just got to worry about people trying to scam you. Not that I would think that Robo or the other guy is really going to scam you, because they got some awesome Christmas displays in their own right, but I definitely am happy to finally own this. So thank you guys for selling this to me on a reduced rate to top as well. So I'm very happy to own this inflatable. Have noticed that mine that I received, some of the C7s in the top of the Christmas tree are blown out, even though I remember from Alex's review of this, aka Infla, that he reviewed this back a few years ago when it first came out, and it does not have a light in the star, which is a critical missing lighting piece. But I am going to see if I can try to get up in the Christmas tree tomorrow when I deflate it and see if I can replace the C7s in the Christmas tree. But other than that, everything seems to be lighting up pretty perfectly. Definitely am happy to own this design, and essentially now I own every single deluxe colossal that AtHome has ever made for Christmas. Still looking for a few other regular size colossals, but this marks another huge one off my list. And another cool idea I had was to frame the Christmas tree portion of it with this other Santa Claus. If y'all may not know, this year Menards sold a saxophone playing Santa with a sound box that has the same sound box that the 2021 Lowe's saxophone Snowman has in it. And I also happen to have the 2022 version of the saxophone Lowe's Snowman, but the main problem I had with it is it did not come with a sound box. Well, problem solved, and I've also got another very, very cool Santa Claus design. I just feel like this year I've been kind of going a little nuts on the Santa Claus and the Grinch designs, but I cannot really be too unhappy now that I've got a third sound box in this display now, and we have another sound box to get to here after a while, but that's coming up shortly. Next new for 2025 I have is the brand new AtHome 20-foot reindeer design from this year's version. As you all know, I absolutely just adore that 20-foot reindeer that I got in 2023 that also sold in 2024. So when I saw this AtHome redesign, I knew I had to pick it up, because they've improved their reindeer design year after year with all the evolutions of this reindeer that have came out from the very first one that was sold. And one day, if I can never find it, that's kind of what I was alluding to down there when I was talking about the Christmas tree archway. I do hope I can locate that original reindeer at some point where I'm not going to have to pay a huge blown up price for it. But I gotta say, I love this design, from the brand new golden holly it has down here on its collar to the fact that its reins kind of hang off this year, which I thought was a very nice touch compared to what the other reindeer had, which I think that the 2023 version, it kind of more mimics the 2021 and 2022 version of this reindeer, which to me is not very surprising because AtHome tends to replicate some of their qualities of some of their colossal inflatables year after year. But I am very happy to own this, and it's becoming one of my other new favorite colossals for Christmas alongside the Christmas tree archway, the Santa and the Miss Claus, and the Snowman family. My projector is just right now floating disco light right now because I've not really set it because it ain't gotten fully enough dark, but I'm kind of filming this between dusk and dark time, so it's not far off. Doing good. How you doing?
Good setup here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Merry Christmas.
You too. Also got a brand new Nativity design from my mom's coworker this year. For those of you wondering, no, I've still got my Jimmy one. It's just currently in storage, and I figured I'd put this one out this year to save some voltage on the house since I've already kind of had to move some things around, and I've probably done the most elaborate lighting setup that I've ever done for cords this year. So kind of had to make some space for a brand new design, so that's why this one was used instead of the other one. So just to clear up any confusion. But this, I do love this one though, because it does incorporate the animals, and it also kind of has a bit more of a well LED lit up nativity scene. So I definitely love this design as well. But just to answer you guys' question, I'm probably going to swap out the Jimmy and this one year after year, so they both kind of have a presence in my display. But that's kind of the explanation I wanted to give for that, just to let you guys know. But yeah, I was just plugging up my green LED Jimmy spotlight that I didn't have hooked up yet, because I'm kind of, like I said, just doing things on the fly tonight, really, because of all the setup I've been working on today, because I literally just got the new inflatables out today before I filmed this. Next new pickup for 2025, we have the Grinch and Cindy Lou Who teeter totter. As I said back during my fall display video, I did want to pick up both of the teeter totters this year that were licensed, albeit I know there were a ton of unlicensed versions of the teeter totter out as well this year. But if you guys know me, I love the Peanuts and I love the Grinch very, very much. And it's almost like when something new comes out, I just have to get my hands on it before it gets out of the way. And luckily, Yard Inflatables had this one and the Peanuts one this year on a pretty much a reduced rate compared to what other websites were selling it for. So that makes me pretty happy that I was able to get it for reduced rate versus the full price that Walmart and Target were wanting to sell it for. But I haven't decided which one's my favorite. I gotta say I might lean a bit more Peanuts, but I gotta say it's very close for me. That's my thing, is like, I love the Grinch and I love Peanuts, but I gotta probably lean Peanuts just a little bit, just because I was happy to get another design that had Charlie Brown in it as well. That was kind of my thinking with the Peanuts design. But I am really overjoyed to have a design that finally has Cindy Lou Who on it, whereas my other 4 Grinch designs I currently have up don't encompass her in any of them. But I think it's a very nice add-on to my Whoville display this year. And for what you could argue is probably the biggest surprise of my display this year among many others, I finally went and got it. I decided to finally put the money where my mouth is and get the Peanuts Christmas stage design. I went back and forth on getting this one for so long last year. I mean, I had to convince myself that I'd already spent enough money last year and I did not want to buy another brand new one. But This year, as unfortunate as he would have it, I lost my Zamboni because it had I think it had a pretty good gash on the bottom of it now that I remember when I was putting it up. And then just as time has gone on, Snoopy has just got to the point where he won't sit up on the back of my Zamboni anymore like he once did. So I figured it was just time to pull the plug and get something new, which happened at a pretty ironic time because this one went on sale this year at Target down to a affordable $225, which this one has sold consistently for $350 the last few years. So I knew at $300 it was going to, I mean, not even 300, but 300 plus, it was going to be a very steep hill to climb to afford this one, or to even get myself to justify it because of just the price and everything. Because the only thing I would say that would make this one a little bit better was I do wish that Schroeder's piano would play Lucy and Linus, or it would play Christmas Time Is Here. That would be a really cool wow factor if they could have put a sound box on the back of Schroeder's piano, and then make Charlie Brown an animated one where he goes up and out of the Christmas gift. That would have been a cool touch as well. And even if you wanted to blend like the sound box with like a light show, you could have done like what the Peanuts light show at Sears was like a few years ago, and you could have had all the characters' individual C7s flash just in like accordance to the music. But for whatever reason they decided not to do it, probably for the best, because it probably would have shot the price up even higher. Like some of the more infamous Hallmark or Slimmer Peanuts designs that we are all too familiar with, such as the 15.5-foot Snoopy or 16-foot Snoopy. The Christmas tree, I think it was also a Hallmark or Slimmer as well. And I can go on and on and on, but we all know how high Hallmark or Slimmer is. I'll just put it like that. But extremely happy to own this design. Definitely one of my favorite Peanuts designs I think I've ever seen, at least from a commercialism standpoint and from just what other collectors have had. So definitely happy to own this design. Another new for 2025, I have the brand new Buc-ee's Christmas Globe that was sold in their stores this year. I haven't checked in on this one in a few weeks, but I'm pretty sure this one's going to be pretty rare, but I would be surprised if it didn't make a return next year, unless they're going to bring back the single standing Buc-ee like I had from the 2023 Christmas display when it was added. So I figure you guys could probably get these next year, or there might be some stores out in rotation that still have them, but I would definitely grab it if you see one of these, because these things I think are going to get pretty hard to find as time goes along. But definitely glad to have another pellet globe in my Christmas display. The only thing is I think the pellets in this one's a little faulty because they're so small and they get stuck after it rains, after there's a freeze and snow, and it's kind of become commonplace for my pellets to get stuck on the plastic and get stuck on the floor of the Christmas globe. So just beware, you guys might have problems trying to get snow to come out of yours. I debated putting some of the Jimmy pellets in because I have acquired Jimmy pellets from another design that I've recently got that will probably not be used to the winter display, but I haven't decided if I'm going to try to split some of its Jimmy pellets with it or not, because I figure that might stop the hose up, which is probably what I'm considering is done to this one with its smaller little pellets. But overall, pretty happy with it. Just kind of wish that the pellets would be a bit more consistent. And here was the aforementioned Peanuts teeter totter that I was talking about earlier. Kind of like I was saying with the stage scene, I am happy to now own another design with Charlie Brown, as it seems like for the majority of the time, Charlie Brown designs, they're only confined to like online only purchases, and they're usually a lot harder to access compared to like in the stores, which are generally like the Woodstock and the Snoopy designs, which, don't get me wrong, I love the Snoopy and the Woodstock designs. It's nothing to do with that. It's more or less, I just kind of wish that the Charlie Brown designs would come back to the stores a bit more often like they used to have them back in the day. But really happy to own this design. Like I said, I think I'm still kind of favoring this one to the Grinch teeter totter, but I love both of them, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Grinchmas and Peanut Christmas, so definitely recommend getting both of them. There are a few more of these left on Yard Inflatables, but they are going like hotcakes. They've sold a lot better than the Peanut ones, but I mean the Grinch ones, excuse me. But anyway, glad to have this one. Welcome to Whoville. And as I was saying with a brand new Grinch soundbox, or I guess I didn't really specify the Grinch soundbox part of it, but I was able to pick these little Grinch singing steak lights up back from AtHome last year on clearance for 75 off. So I actually only got them for like about, I think, 5 or 7 a piece, I think. And they sing "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." I've only been able to turn this one on because when I turn that set on, it becomes a surround sound, and I've got a particularly picky neighbor, I'm not going to name names, up above me that lives, and she does not really love soundbox that good. I've already been called out once for my werewolf inflatable at Halloween, so I figure any night except for Christmas night and maybe the weekends, I'm going to leave these off surround sound. But I do love these, and I think it definitely adds a whole other dimension to my Grinch area this year, which I've never really had one that sings a good portion of the song. But anyways, definitely a nice little touch. Also get you guys a little glimpse of my gift tower I got from Big Lots last year on clearance as well. Absolutely love that gift tower. It's beautiful. Also managed to get the brand new Grinch chimney projector from AtHome this year. Probably one of my favorite ever Grinch projectors that have ever been created. I know there's another version I saw at another house out here locally in my area the other night. So there are 2 versions of this projector. So this one I think is my favorite of the 2 just because of the facial expression and the height that he animates to on the wall. Definitely very clever. And in the process this year from AtHome, I happened to mark off another very big gap in my display, and that was a colossal Grinch design. I had gone back and forth, and like I was saying, I'm very, very particular about my displays, so I have gone back and forth on which Grinch colossal design I've wanted for quite some time. As y'all may have seen, this year Walmart released an online exclusive that had a 10-foot tree. He is 16 feet tall, and he's holding Max in his arms. And I wanted to get that one, but where I had already spent a bunch of money on a couple of other designs that I have recently acquired, I just couldn't really justify it for the price. So I ended up waiting until AtHome's Colossals went on 25 off. So I ironically got this one on the retail it sold for last year. And I know I kind of griped a little bit by the fact that AtHome raised their inflatable prices this year, which I'm going to say I'm still not really for that move. I definitely think it was very short-sighted to price a 19-foot Grinch Colossal with an YEF 80 at like more than what like a or maybe not more, but like a little bit under like what one with a 125 sold for at Home Depot last year. Because as you all know, that has been the 20-foot Grinch that I have wanted for a long, long time. But unfortunately, Home Depot didn't bring them back this year, and all the ones on resale value are extremely skyrocketed in price. So I just couldn't justify getting one of the Home Depot ones. But I definitely was not about to pay $300 for one with a more underpowered fan. But I am glad to own this one because I think this could be this one's last year at AtHome. So I am glad I picked it up while I got it. So was lucky I was able to pick it up for sure. Get you guys a little look at my bush lights and the reef since it's kind of hidden by some of the inflatables. Absolutely love my mom's reef with the peppermint candies. I think it definitely makes my peppermint bush scene. And here's a bit of a closer look at the gift tower I was showing you guys earlier. Well, that's my 2025 Christmas display for you guys. I will do a daytime video, and I do want to pardon my projectors on the wall of the house are currently off. I have not set them yet, but I will go by with like a shorts and show you guys what those look like maybe later. Plus, I have 2 new neon lights in my window from Target that I picked up this year that I wish I would have turned on before I began filming, but kind of wanted to film this before it got very, very cold outside. So comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the daytime vid next.